Hi everyone and welcome to One Six Figure Focus, and in this video I'm going to review a Ccfl Luke Skywalker lightsaber by ART15 Custom. Let's get started. Alright folks, before we get started, I'm just going to kind of outline how I'm going to do this. My original thought was just to get the lightsaber and show you everything that comes with in the light box or the turntable, but I felt it'd be a lot better to actually show you its setup, because one of the reasons I bought this lightsaber is because I had the Luke Skywalker or Mando Luke Skywalker DX23 en route, and I thought I really wanted to pose that with a lightsaber. I do have a few other Jedi characters in my collection, but some of them I can kind of get away with not using the lightsabers because I don't particularly like the stock Hot Toys ones because, well, A, it takes a while to put in the batteries, B, you've got to clip in the arm if it stays in, and then C, a lot of time they just don't last that long. You spend more time putting in the batteries than you do actually displaying it before the batteries die, and they don't actually, a lot of the time, don't illuminate the lightsaber all the way to the end. So I wanted to be able to come into the room, just click a button and have a really bright lightsaber that just turn on the click of a button, and I don't have to mess with batteries or anything. Now, loads of different custom makers make these particular Ccfl lightsabers. The brand I went with is ART15 Custom. Now, I don't get any kickback for this. This is the first product I am buying with them. Basically, my vision for the collection is to have a few Ccfls and a few fusion reactors, but I was always struggling, how am I going to do that with a detolf and maintain the clean look that I have so far with the Luke lights? So I'm going to outline exactly the price, everything that it comes with, and how I set it up, and just a bit of functionality in the next section. Just to reiterate as well that I bought this in cash, no kickback, no discount, whatever. It's my first purchase from this particular company, ART15 Custom. I'll leave all the links in the description for this video, and I'll tell you exactly what I think from. First thing, €165. Now that includes everything: the lightsaber, the hilt, all the wiring, of course, the remote control box that the remote control talks to, the remote control itself, and then an EU plug adapter. I'm going to show you all this in the video, and of course shipping. Shipping is about €40, so in total €165. Quite expensive, but look, we'll get started. We'll take a look at how it turned out and everything that comes with it. Alright, so getting started here, this is how I have the Ccfl Luke Skywalker custom lightsaber by ART15 Custom set up currently. Obviously, this is the Hot Toys DX23 Luke Skywalker from The Mandalorian. The figure is fantastic, and to be honest, as soon as I ordered this figure, I knew I needed a Ccfl, because there are certain Jedi figures that I have. For example, Snowspeeder Luke, you can see up there, and the Alec Guinness Obi-Wan Kenobi, Ben Kenobi. And the poses I have them in, it doesn't require a lightsaber, but this one, there was never any doubt I wanted to get a Ccfl. I love the figure, but I think the figure is elevated by this Ccfl because it's brighter, because I don't have to put in the batteries and spend longer putting in the batteries than the batteries will last. The battery stock lightsaber dies very quickly. It's not that bright. It's just, this looks like it looks more screen accurate. Now it's coming across very white here, and it actually comes across a lot more green in person. Whatever way the camera is picking this up, it looks a lot whiter. So you can still see the little bit of a white in person, and then the green glow, but it's definitely significantly greener. You'll notice the very end of the tip of the blade doesn't actually light up, but that's common with this Ccfls, but you don't actually notice it when it's ignited because your eye is drawn to the lit up part. But that's common, just the way I'm speaking to people, that's the way it is, people who make them. So you can see obviously the Return of the Jedi hilt, which is the same as the Mandalorian hilt. It looks very similar to the Hot Toys stock one. It's actually really, they've done a great job on these hilts. They look metallic. You can just see how I've wired it down here through the detofs using cable ties, which are grey, so you can actually see the wire going, because I have the wire behind the grey frame. Underneath then, because I drilled a hole in the bottom of the detof to put this through, you've got this box. This is what the wireless remote, which you have an option to include it or not, this is what it actually talks to. So it basically gives a signal to this and controls the different settings on the lightsaber. There's 2 ports on this, so you can actually use this, I believe you can use it anyway, with 2 different lightsabers. So if I get, like, for example, if I get Besman Luke and I decide to get the blue lightsaber from Empire Strikes Back, I could just wire them the same and put them in the back once the you've once the wire, yeah, the wire is pretty long actually. There's like 2 thin wires that come out. Obviously then that gets plugged into the adapter you can see here with the green light, and that's an EU plug. And wherever you're ordering from, Europe or Asia or EU or the States, you can get that type of plug as well. You just have to customize your order. So I mean, all in with the blade, the hilts, all the wiring, the little blue box there that the remote speaks to, the EU adapter plug basically, and the remote itself and delivery, €165. It is quite expensive, but I gotta say, I absolutely love the final look of this. Just showing you the remote now. It's a standard remote. I've seen these remotes with all sorts of things, like which is kind of cheap lights you buy, or sometimes like USB powered but just wireless lights and stuff like that. I have some for the DTOFs as well, or my other, not DTOFs, my other Millsbo shelf downstairs. Just a standard kind of plastic remote, and that talks to the blue box, which then tells the lightsaber what to do: turn off, turn on, increase in brightness, decrease in brightness, or different settings. So we're just going to run through some of them here. Personally, I'm just going to set and forget. So there you can see I'm turning it off or on. Now it can be a bit finicky, like you can see there I'm pointing towards the lightsaber, but realistically I should be pointing towards the blue box because that's what's getting the signal. But so sometimes you can see that you press the button and it works, and other times you have to kind of press it a few times to work, and I'm not sure why that is. That's kind of a little bit of a drawback here. Well, in that situation there, I'm actually kind of pointing it more towards the lightsaber. Should be pointing it towards the blue box, but I tested it later on. I actually put the blue box back behind the DTOFs and put something in front of them, and it still worked, so you just have to press down and point it in a general direction. But it can go through paper anyway and some wood, because that's what I had the little blue box behind. So you can see I'm just running through a bunch of settings here. Basically it can flash fast, slow, it can pulse as well like that. But to be quite honest, I'm not going to use any of these settings. I mean, they're kind of cool, I like having the option, but I'm just going to keep it lit up solid because it looks a lot more screen accurate with your standard. Like, that's pretty cool there, the way it's just kind of barely kind of flashing, but I still think the best thing here is just the normal solid lit up, and also maybe just dropping it down to 25%. The reason I'm dropping it down 25% is because they can get quite hot. So just a few things to note. The tip of these lightsabers, it doesn't light all the way to the tip, but that's not a deal breaker for me because your eye naturally go through the brightest part, which is obviously the lit up lightsaber. They can get a bit warm, but I've had mine on now. I've tested it for having it on for an hour or 2 hours, and it can get warm, but it's not hot. But that's because it's at 25%. I actually think the 100% setting is really, really bright. It's almost too bright. But you can see the setup there. You're getting all those different things: the remote, the EU plug, or wherever your area. Again, you don't have to get this stuff. You can literally just get the blade and the hilt, I think you can get the hilt separately as well if that's what you're after. But I went all in because I needed all the different parts. Because the little blue box has another port, I'm more than likely going to get a Bespin Luke lightsaber, but then I'll just have to order the blade and the hilt and the wire that plugs into the port. I won't have to get another box. I won't have to get another remote. Now, if you're getting an Ahsoka, that's different because he actually does the Ahsoka to 2 white blades, and you'll obviously the 2 of them then will have a plug each, which will go into the blue box. So look, all in all, this is the next stage of the evolution of my display. I've already ordered fusion reactors from a different company. I would probably go back to the only drawback of this company personally is they are quite pricey, and the remote can be a bit hit and miss, but that's something that won't bother me because I'm literally going to set it to 25 and I won't use the remote because I've got an app on my phone which communicates with the smart plug, which this is plugged into. You saw earlier on underneath the this section here, you could see my plugs. They're powered into the adapter, and the adapter is plugged into the smart plug. So my app just talks to the smart plug. It turns on all the Luke lights and the Ccfl, and hopefully in the future it will turn on the multiple Ccfls and the fusion reactors all at once. That's the smart plug there that I'm talking about. Have to say, absolutely love how this looks. So that's it, folks. That's the end of the video, the end of the review. So again, what we're looking at is the Ccfl lightsaber, or a Ccfl lightsaber. It's a Luke Skywalker lightsaber, obviously the green one from Return of the Jedi, which is the same one he used in The Mandalorian. Overall thoughts, really happy with the hilt. I thought they did a great job. A little bit thicker than the stock one that comes with Hot Toys. Really like the the look of the saber when it's ignited. Bear in mind, like I said, I have mine ignite at 25% because they can get quite hot, but I felt with 25% even after an hour, it was a bit more warm, but it didn't actually get hot. I don't want any fire hazards, but I really like the look of it. Unfortunately, it doesn't really show up in the video. It looks more white than green, but trust me, in the room, it looks like it does on screen. It's very actually screen accurate, and what I love about it is it really complements this particular figure because it's a really strong figure, and the lightsaber itself is really strong, and the two of them together really, it just elevates the figure. I think with that to a level that I wouldn't get if I just used the Hot Toys stock lightsaber with the batteries. Very easy to set up, very easy to use. Thankfully I was able to maintain a clean look. You saw a bit of it there, how I set it up and how I wired it to the details, so there wasn't like a nest of wires around. The only thing I will say is €165. It's a lot of money. Now I know that includes everything in shipping, but it is quite expensive. So I mean, if you're watching this, you might want to go if you've ordered any figures that come with the new Hot Toys USB lightsabers that we've yet to see, maybe you want to hold out, see what they're like, and if you're happy with them, just stick with them. I have a hunch though that they're not going to be as good, but look, I don't know. We'll know when, of course, that the first one drops. I think that's the Obi-Wan Kenobi from the Obi-Wan Kenobi show, is the first one to drop with the USB powered lightsaber. So look, time will tell. One other thing I will say is that if I was to buy him again, because that little blue remote control box, not the remote control itself, but the box or device that receives the signal for the remote control, that the remote control talks to, it has 2 ports. So if I was to buy another one, I'd really only have to get the blade and the hilt and the wire. So that's something to consider. So I wouldn't have to go buy another one of those boxes and another remote. You know, of course, if I wanted more than 2, then I would. But look, they're my closing thoughts. Really appreciate you coming back and checking out the channel. I hope it helps if anyone's considering Ccfls. I will drop all the links and stuff in the description here. So look, that's the end of the video. If you want to support the channel, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment. Do you have any of these Ccfls? What companies did you go with? Do you find them worth it? Any issues you encountered? Also, you can follow me on Instagram and follow me on Twitter. That's it. That's the end of the video. See you in the next one. Good luck.